Not the soft, measured silence of diplomacy, but the heavy, deliberate pause of an entire civilization holding its breath. Alien elders, draped in robes of translucent energy, leaned forward across polished obsidian tables. Their eyes glimmered like stars trapped in glass, reflecting histories none outside their species could hope to fathom. One elder spoke, voice low and resonant, words measured like the fall of a distant comet. "Humanity is coming," he said. "And when they do, they will not ask for mercy." It never imagined. Whispers rippled through the Galactic Council chamber. Senators of dozens of worlds exchanged glances of polite amusement, dismissing the elder's prophecy with the confidence of those who believed in permanence. Myth, legend, stories meant to thrill children on idle nights. Yet the elder did not waver. His cadence deepened, deliberate, as if each word pressed against the fabric of reality itself. They have survived worlds meant to destroy them. They have turned desperation into innovation, weakness into strategy. And when they rise, no force, assembled in arrogance, will stand against them. A young counselor, untested in decades of interstellar politics, dared to speak. The elder's gaze did not waver. It was a stare that could strip certainty from the strongest minds. Threat? No. They are inevitability. We will look away. We will mock. And we will pay for every moment we scoffed. Across the chamber, the Galactic senators laughed softly. They did not understand that history itself had long been waiting for this species. That the galaxy's arrogance was exactly what had shaped humanity into the force they were about to witness. Outside, distant stars shone indifferent to prophecy. Human colonies thrived quietly, unobserved. From barren rocks to industrial hubs orbiting alien suns, humans endured, adapted, and evolved with subtlety the galaxy never credited them with. Precise. Every act, every invention, every battle they had yet to fight was a seed planted for the day the elder had foretold. The council dismissed the warnings. The elder's voice became a ripple in the air, fading as ministers returned to reports, economic treaties, and petty disputes. A vibration not yet violent, not yet definitive, but relentless. Something waited, something patient, something unstoppable. And in that waiting, the first faint echoes of humanity's revenge stirred. On the barren moons of the Galactic system, settlements thrived where others would have perished, using ingenuity born from necessity. There, ships were smaller, less grand, but their engines carried whispers of unpredictability patterns that alien sensors could not fully comprehend. Every maneuver was precise, every strike subtle, every withdrawal calculated to leave no trace. The galaxy in its arrogance assumed these colonies were weak, insignificant, ephemeral. But the elders had warned. Human resilience was not myth. It was discipline shaped by survival, sharpened by adversity, and amplified by audacity. A single colonist, isolated, could turn catastrophe into advantage. Entire fleets underestimated this fact at their own peril. In one unremarkable sector, the aliens, confident in their superiority, patrolled in rigid formations. Their sensors tuned only to conventional threats. Humans exploited the patterns. Ships disappeared into dense debris, reappeared behind alien lines, and struck with silent precision. Systems went offline. Communications scrambled. And then, without warning, they melted back into obscurity, leaving the aliens to report a phantom strike. Back in the central galactic accord chambers, reports of minor skirmishes, unexplained. Ministers debated, analysts argued, and commanders adjusted protocols. Yet no one connected the dots. The humans were dismissed as anomalies, the errors of poorly trained scouts, the inevitable miscalculations of frontier management. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit chamber orbiting a dying star, The elder watched the reports flow across his crystalline monitors. His gaze lingered on each subtle detail. The unusual coordination, the use of terrain, the timing that defied probability. He did not smile. He did not speak. But deep within, he felt the first tremors of confirmation. Humanity was not waiting. They were moving. The humans themselves were unaware of prophecy. They did not act because an elder had foreseen them. They acted because they had no choice. Their survival depended on initiative, on learning faster than the threat, on daring the impossible. Every colony, every patrol, every engineer, every fighter united not by decree, but by instinct and necessity, yet arrogance blinded the galaxy. In council chambers, light years away, alien senators debated trade tariffs while entire fleets were being subtly compromised. They assumed time was on their side. They believed oversight would catch any rebellion before it spread. They did not understand that humans did not wait for opportunity. They created it, and so, the first whispers of rebellion spread silently. The humans had not yet declared war. They had not fired a volley at a capital world. They had merely begun to bend the rules of a galaxy that thought itself immutable. The elders, those who remembered history, those who remember humans, knew what was coming. But warnings fell on deaf ears. The Galactic Accord laughed, mocked, and ignored the subtle tremors. The humans did not care. They had learned that arrogance, above all else, was a weakness more fatal than firepower. And somewhere, in the quiet darkness of space, a single human fleet moved. Small, agile, and unseen, they waited only for the moment the galaxy decided it was too late to notice them. The first strikes were subtle, precise, and devastating in their silence. Human fleets, small and nimble, moved like shadows along the periphery of the outer sectors, targeting lightly defended outposts, supply convoys, and communication relays. There was no fanfare, no announcement. No alien world ever saw the humans coming until the damage had already been done. The galaxy, in its arrogance, considered these losses minor, inconsequential. They assumed these were anomalies, accidents, miscalculations. But humans did not fight for recognition. They fought for survival and for strategy. Their methods were unconventional. Ships split into multiple vectors, splitting enemy sensors, attacking from angles that were mathematically improbable. Missiles were never just launched. They were choreographed, timed to disrupt and confuse. And when the aliens attempted countermeasures, they found only ghost signals and vanished fleets, leaving only the remnants of human ingenuity behind. Colonial command centers were the first to notice. Officers pored over the reports, tried to trace patterns, but the humans left none. Every move seemed independent, yet connected. Every strike appeared random, yet calculated. Even elite alien commanders admitted under hushed voices that what they were facing was unlike anything they had trained for. Meanwhile, the elder observed quietly from orbit around a dying star, the glow of the galaxy's core painting his features. In crimson light, he did not speak. There was no need. The prophecy unfolded as it always had. Humanity, underestimated, was proving its inevitability. What the galaxy ignored, they now executed flawlessly. In one sector, a small human contingent had taken control of a mining outpost previously considered secure. Alien patrols arrived expecting a skirmish. Instead, they found the facility fully operational under human command, its defenses bolstered with ingenuity that made alien technology seem clumsy. The humans had anticipated the attack, prepared decoys, and set traps. The patrols were forced to retreat in confusion, leaving the outpost fully intact and operational. At the central Galactic Accord chambers, reports came in, but they were dismissed as localized disturbances. "It's nothing," said a senior counselor, sipping his synthetic wine. "They are small, scattered humans. They cannot coordinate across sectors. But the data told a different story. Each insignificant action revealed intelligence, preparation, and adaptability far beyond what the galaxy credited them with. Across human colonies, communication was fast, silent, secure. Engineers shared techniques that improved defense. Pilots shared tactics that could evade detection, and commanders coordinated strikes across light years with precision. They had no grand fleet, no massive warships, no illusions of glory. Yet, each small action accumulated, slowly, imperceptibly, like a tide that would eventually drown the arrogance of the galaxy. Even as the elders warned again, their voices, echoing through empty corridors of power, no one listened. The human rebellion was not a spectacle, and those who ignored it would soon find that legends were not stories, they were warnings. So, the first true human victories spread quietly. The galaxy remained oblivious, laughing at anomalies, blind to inevitability. But the humans, undeterred, continued to strike. Each success was a whisper, each withdrawal a calculated retreat. The Elder knew the truth. The galaxy's ignorance would cost it dearly. Humanity was awake, and it had begun to move. The Elder's prophecy no longer lingered in whispers. It had begun to spread quietly among factions who still remembered the old warnings. Merchants, minor governors, retired military strategists, they shared stories in hushed tones about human resilience, about colonies that thrived in worlds deemed uninhabitable, about fleets that appeared from nowhere and vanished before retaliation. Even among the younger alien generations, curiosity stirred. A faint unease took root, but the Central Galactic Accord remained blind, still laughing at what they considered mere anomalies. Meanwhile, human colonies were evolving faster than the galaxy could anticipate. Technologies scavenged from derelict ships and abandoned outposts were adapted, improved, and repurposed with ingenuity that alien scientists dismissed as improbable. Every colony contributed. Every engineer, every soldier, every strategist became part of a silent network of knowledge, moving faster than bureaucracies, outpacing fleet deployments, outmaneuvering protocols designed to predict conventional threats. In the Auric sector, a small human fleet intercepted a convoy carrying strategic supplies meant for an important alien colony. They struck swiftly, disabling communications first, cutting off reinforcements before any shot was fired. Alien commanders arrived, expecting resistance, but found an empty field and a message etched in energy. Humanity had been here, and their presence was not a threat, it was a warning. The Elder observed this from orbit, the swirling clouds of the dying planet casting shadows across his face. His voice was calm, deliberate, resonating across the chamber in thought rather than sound. Humanity's rise was no accident. It was the culmination of centuries of struggle, of adaptation, of survival against impossible odds. Each victory, each anomaly ignored by the galaxy, became a stepping stone toward what would be inevitable. Reckoning across human worlds, communication was silent but precise. Plans were executed with exacting timing, coordinated across vast distances. Tactics that seemed improbable, ambushed in asteroid belts, traps in orbit, misdirection using holographic projections, became commonplace. Alien analysts began noticing patterns, but by then it was already too late. The humans did not fight in predictable ways. They did not need to. Their unpredictability was their advantage. Their audacity, a weapon as effective as any missile or laser. The Galactic Accord continued to dismiss the threat. Leaders exchanged casual reports over wine and commerce data, shrugging off the warnings of their military strategists. Humans are clever, yes, one remarked, but they lack discipline. Their victories are flukes, minor inconveniences. The galaxy endures. Their hubris was complete. They did not understand that patience was a human strength, and underestimation their most dangerous weapon. as humans continued their quiet rise, colonists began training in ways the galaxy could not anticipate. Pilots learned maneuvers that defied conventional physics. Engineers built adaptive weapons. Strategists devised campaigns that spanned sectors. Every move was deliberate, designed to teach the galaxy a lesson it would not forget. And through it all, the Elder watched. The prophecy was unfolding exactly as he had foreseen. The galaxy laughed, ignored, and mocked. But humans, patient, relentless, and cunning, were becoming a force no arrogance could withstand. A subtle tremor of inevitability began to ripple through the stars. Humanity was no longer invisible. Humanity was rising. The first major battle erupted without warning. A human fleet, modest in size but flawless in execution, appeared along the outer rim of the Caloric sector, striking at a lightly defended supply station. Alien commanders had assumed the sector. Secure, underestimating the humans' reach, their coordination, and their audacity. Within minutes, the outpost was incapacitated, its shields down, communications scrambled, and reinforcements trapped in spatial anomalies engineered by human ingenuity. The aliens responded with full force. Heavy warships emerged from hyperspace, unleashing volleys meant to annihilate the attackers. Lasers cut across the void, missiles streaked like meteors, and yet, the humans moved with the precision of predators long hidden. Ships split, dodged, and regrouped in ways alien tacticians could not anticipate. Every strike they launched was answered not with panic, but with clever countermeasures designed to maximize confusion. From the bridge of an alien flagship, the general barked orders that fell into chaos. Predict their formation, surround them, cut off their escape. Sensors flashed red, mapping every human maneuver, yet nothing followed the patterns the galaxy expected. Systems overloaded. Communication arrays failed. And through it all, the humans did not aim for destruction alone. They targeted strategy, morale, and perception, turning every countermeasure into another step toward victory. The Elder watched from orbit, his crystalline eyes reflecting the fury and ingenuity displayed below. He did not speak. He did not need to. Every move confirmed what he had known for decades. The galaxy's arrogance had blinded it to the inevitable. Humans did not fight like others. They anticipated, they adapted, they endured. And now, the consequences of ignoring them began to manifest in full. On the battlefield, humans captured the station without losing a single ship. Alien fleets faltered, unsure whether to retreat or engage. Every hesitation, every moment of doubt was exploited. A single human vessel, piloted by a commander no more than 20 standard cycles old, had redirected enemy fire, disabled multiple systems, and created an escape corridor for the rest of the fleet. The aliens' arrogance had become their weakness. In council chambers light years away, reports came in like a tidal wave. Senior officials debated. Analysts calculated probabilities. Generals cursed and demanded reinforcements. Still, none grasped the reality of the situation. Humans were not flukes. They were not accidents. They were a species that had survived impossible odds and now turned survival into strategy. The galaxy had ignored the warning signs, and now it paid the price. Across human colonies, quiet celebrations erupted. Engineers, pilots, and strategists coordinated the operation from different star systems, their communications secure and instantaneous. They did not rejoice for glory. They rejoiced for precision, for survival, and for progress. Each victory, small as it seemed to the galaxy, was a seed that would bloom into unstoppable momentum. By the time the alien fleets withdrew to regroup, the humans had vanished, leaving behind only echoes of disruption and a single undeniable truth. The galaxy's underestimation had turned into vulnerability. Humanity had struck first, and with that strike, The Elder's prophecy gained momentum. The stars themselves seemed to tremble in anticipation. A force long ignored had awakened, and the galaxy was only beginning to understand that ignoring humans would cost more than arrogance could ever measure. The Galactic Council finally realized the humans could no longer be ignored. Panic rippled through the highest echelons of power. Fleets were mobilized, war plans revised, and strategic commands issued with urgency previously unseen. Every sector braced for retaliation. Every general demanded immediate action. Yet they were still blinded by arrogance, still relying on predictable formations and conventional tactics. They had not yet learned that humans did not fight predictably. Across multiple star systems, humans anticipated each response before it was executed. Reconnaissance ships moved through asteroid fields, mapping alien fleets' patterns and relaying subtle signals to hidden bases. Engineers modified weapons mid-flight, reprogramming drone swarms to exploit weaknesses in the alien command matrix. Pilots executed maneuvers that bent physics and logic alike, leaving alien gunners frustrated. Firing at shadows. Every plan humans made was a step ahead of the galaxy's expectations, done in one critical sector. An elite alien strike force attempted to block a human supply corridor. The humans had already prepared. Mines were laid along expected flight paths, but decoys drew the first volleys. Then, in a sudden burst of audacity, human ships slipped through the unmonitored gaps, flanking the enemy entirely. Entire fleets found themselves outmaneuvered by tactics no amount of training or simulation could predict. Alien commanders struggled to adapt, their pride and arrogance turning against them. The Elder observed silently from his orbital station. His crystalline form reflected the chaos below, but his expression was calm, almost serene. "They are learning faster than they should," he whispered to no one, though his words echoed across the empty halls. "The galaxy underestimates them. That is their doom. That is our vindication." He had foreseen this, every maneuver, every strike, every subtle triumph, but the elegance of the humans' coordination never ceased to impress him. On the human side, morale soared, though there was no celebration. Every victory was a lesson, every encounter an experiment, every engagement a rehearsal for greater challenges ahead. Colonies shared insights at subspace speeds, uniting distant human worlds in a network the galaxy had not even begun to detect. Adaptability was their weapon, unpredictability their shield. They did not fight out of vengeance. They fought because every human understood what it meant to survive against impossible odds. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council tried to consolidate forces. They sent massive fleets, calculated to crush the humans in one decisive blow. But the humans, anticipating such hubris, did not confront them directly. Instead, they attacked peripheral supply chains, disabled communications, and used guerrilla tactics in space fast, precise, brutal in their efficiency. Every miscalculation by the alien forces was exploited immediately, magnified, and used. To further weaken their confidence, the Elder's voice echoed once more in empty halls. Let them mobilize. Let them believe this is war. They do not yet understand that the humans have already won where it counts in their minds, in their strategy, in their inevitability. By the end of the cycle, the aliens withdrew to reassess. They were shaken, not just by losses, but by the realization that humans were not merely opponents. They were a force beyond their conventional understanding. The Elder, watching from above, knew the truth. The galaxy had finally awakened to the consequences of ignoring prophecy, but it was already too late. Humanity had claimed the advantage, and the path to revenge and domination was just beginning. The human fleet advanced on the Valari outpost, a strategic world whose control would shift the balance of power in the sector. Alien defenses were formidable turrets bristled along the orbit, Energy shields shimmered with layered complexity, and automated fleets patrolled the surrounding void. To any observer, a direct assault would be suicide. But humans did not attack like others. They moved with patience, precision, and audacity. The assault began not with fire, but with disruption. Communication arrays were jammed, sensor networks overloaded with phantom signals, and decoy ships appeared from directions the aliens had never anticipated. Elite alien commanders barked orders, attempting to adapt, but every decision was anticipated, every tactic countered. Humans were always a step ahead, exploiting assumptions, hubris, and predictable patterns. Inside the Valari Citadel, panic spread among the officers. Reports came in from multiple sensors: intrusions, disabled defense satellites, the sudden appearance of human ships inside perimeter zones thought impossible to breach. Commanders shouted, but their voices were drowned in the chaos of systems failing around them. Human fighters moved silently, surgically, dismantling control nodes and strategic defenses while leaving the alien soldiers confused and disoriented. The Elder observed from orbit, the glow of the planet reflecting across his crystalline features. "They do not just fight. They teach," he whispered. "Each maneuver, each success is a lesson. The galaxy ignores them at its own peril." His words resonated with the inevitability that humans had mastered: survival, strategy, and adaptability beyond any known alien standard. By the time the aliens realized the true extent of the breach, the humans had already captured the outpost's core systems. Shields flickered, energy relays fell silent, and control of orbital defenses transferred into human hands. Entire fleets faltered, unsure of how to respond, unable to predict human tactics. For the first time, the concept of panic reached even elite alien units. Their pride crumbled under the weight of unexpected precision. Psychological warfare became the true weapon. Human commanders allowed visible retreats, creating illusions of weakness, drawing alien forces into traps. When the attacks came, they were devastatingly precise, dismantling morale and sowing confusion. Every engagement left alien soldiers questioning their competence, their leaders, and the very assumption that they could control the galaxy. The Elder knew the prophecy was near fulfillment. Humans had not only captured a key world, they had broken the psyche of a generation of alien commanders. A ripple of inevitability had begun, moving faster than fleets, faster than calculations. The galaxy had ignored warnings, dismissed anomalies, and now faced consequences beyond comprehension. And yet, humans did not pause. Each victory was a step, each conquest a lesson. The Valari outpost, now under human control, became a staging ground for further operations. Supplies, knowledge, and tactical insight flowed outward, preparing the next wave of silent, unstoppable strikes. The galaxy's arrogance had created a predator, and humanity was both patient and relentless. In the quiet of space, the Elder's voice resonated once more, not in fear but in certainty. The galaxy will remember. The humans have begun their revenge, and there is no force alive capable of stopping what is already inevitable. The galaxy reeled. Alien fleets that once ruled entire sectors now hesitated, unsure of where humans might strike next. Communications between command centers were choked with conflicting reports. Sensor readings contradicted one another, and morale, once unshakable, wavered under the weight of unpredictability. Humans had not just fought, they had rewritten the rules of engagement. Their audacity, ingenuity, and patience had transformed them from a disregarded species into a shadow that haunted every corner of space. From orbit, the Elder watched silently, his crystalline form reflecting the chaos below. His prophecy had moved beyond warning. It was unfolding in brilliant, undeniable reality. "They do not just challenge the galaxy," he whispered. "They redefine it." Even those alien factions who had begun to listen now faced a chilling realization. They could not stop what they did not understand. Every human move was calculated, precise, yet adaptive beyond comprehension. In multiple sectors, humans executed coordinated strikes with uncanny timing. Starports were seized without a single human casualty. Convoys vanished under ghostly ambush, and fleets that attempted to engage were drawn into traps that defied prediction. Alien commanders, trained in centuries of galactic warfare, found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Confidence faltered. Decisions hesitated. Pride shattered. Meanwhile, humanity's internal networks operated like clockwork. Strategists transmitted updates instantaneously between colonies. Engineers modified ship systems in real time, and pilots executed maneuvers that seemed impossible to observers. Each small victory compounded the next, creating a momentum the galaxy could neither anticipate nor contain. Every act of defiance, every calculated strike, reinforced the Elder's prophecy. Humans were no longer reactive. They were inevitable. On the Valari outpost, now a hub of human operations, plans were drawn for the next stage. It was not just a battle for territory. It was a demonstration of dominance, a psychological campaign aimed at shaking confidence across the galaxy. Human fleets moved with precision, striking where least expected, disappearing before retaliation could occur. The aliens' arrogance was crumbling faster than any physical confrontation could achieve. The Galactic Accord scrambled fleets, deploying elite units and experimental weaponry, but humans anticipated nearly every strategy. They exploited predictable formations, hubris, and rigid command hierarchies. Each failed assault against human-controlled positions reinforced the narrative. The galaxy's previous indifference had been a fatal error. The humans had become a force no one could ignore, and no one could predict. And through it all, the Elder's presence remained a silent reminder of inevitability. He watched as humans consolidated power, not through sheer firepower alone, but through understanding, adaptation, and relentless cunning. Every battle was a lesson. Every victory, a warning. Every human maneuver, a step toward an outcome the galaxy had foolishly ignored for centuries. In the quiet void between stars, a subtle hum of anticipation seemed to pulse across human worlds. The final phase was approaching. The galaxy could feel the shift, though it did not yet comprehend its full magnitude. Humans were poised, patient, relentless, and unstoppable. The seeds of revenge had grown into a force no arrogance could resist, and the galaxy would soon learn that ignoring humanity was the gravest mistake it had ever made. The final confrontation came not with a roar, but with the quiet inevitability of a storm no one could outrun. Across the galaxy, fleets moved with precision, systems fell under human control, and the arrogance of centuries crumbled into confusion and fear. The Galactic Accord, once the unchallenged authority of countless worlds, found itself fractured, indecisive, and vulnerable. Every plan they had relied upon had already been anticipated, countered, and rendered irrelevant. On the front lines, humans executed maneuvers that alien commanders could not anticipate. Entire armadas were outflanked, trapped, and neutralized without catastrophic loss to human forces. Ships vanished behind asteroid fields, reappeared in ambush formations, and struck with devastating accuracy. Communications were intercepted, countered, and manipulated in a way that shattered alien coordination. Every move demonstrated intelligence, adaptability, and audacity far beyond anything the galaxy expected from this fledgling species. The Elder observed from orbit, his crystalline form bathed in the light of distant stars. He did not smile, though the prophecy had been fulfilled in every measure. He merely nodded, the calm of inevitability reflecting in his eyes. Humans had done more than survive. They had reshaped the galaxy, demonstrating that patience, cunning, and relentless determination could overthrow even the most arrogant of powers. In the capital worlds of the Accord, senators and generals finally recognized what had been warned centuries before. Humanity was no anomaly, no mistake, no minor threat. They were a force defined not by technology alone, but by will, ingenuity, and unyielding resolve. Panic spread as they realized that every victory humans had achieved was part of a grander pattern, a web of strategy that had been woven quietly across centuries. Patiently preparing for this moment, on human-controlled worlds, celebrations were muted, not in fear, but in understanding. Victory was never about conquest for glory. It was about proving that no species, no matter how powerful, should underestimate humanity. Colonies communicated silently, efficiently, sharing knowledge, refining tactics, and preparing for the galaxy's inevitable acknowledgement. Every small victory was a step toward a greater truth. Humans had arrived, and the galaxy could no longer ignore them. The Elder spoke once more, his voice resonant yet calm, echoing across the quiet void. The galaxy laughed. It ignored warnings. It mocked patience. And now it has learned too late that humanity does not ask for permission, does not wait for approval, and never forgives indifference. Their revenge is complete. Their rise is absolute. Their legacy is unstoppable. As the last fleets of the Galactic Accord retreated, beaten, confused, and demoralized, humans held their positions. Systems once thought secure were now under careful control, alliances reshaped, and the arrogance of the galaxy humbled. Humanity's revenge was not a fleeting blaze. It was a long, steady, unyielding flame, illuminating the truth that the Elder had foretold. From the quiet stars of human colonies to the shattered command halls of alien empires, one truth resonated. The prophecy had been fulfilled. Humanity had endured, adapted, and conquered, not with arrogance, but with patience, cunning, and relentless determination. The galaxy had ignored them. The galaxy had mocked them. And now it would remember them forever. The Elder turned away, satisfied. Humanity's rise was no longer a question. It was a certainty. The galaxy had seen the beginning, and there would be no end to what humans could achieve when underestimated, ignored, and challenged. The prophecy had been fulfilled. The galaxy had learned its lesson, and humanity stood, unyielding, triumphant, and inevitable.